The Special Air Service is a British Army Special Forces unit focused on counter-terrorism, hostage rescue, raids, ambushes and special reconnaissance. While every other unit copies them, the SAS invented the game. Most candidates come from the Royal Marines or Parachute Regiment. Selection runs twice a year and only about 10% pass. Out of 200 candidates, most quit within days, and some die during training. 50 sit-ups and 60 press-ups in 2 minutes each, and a 1.5-mile run in 10 minutes are the first small hurdles. An 8-mile march carrying 25 pounds, followed by timed cross-country marches that increase daily, needs to be completed. This ends with a 40-mile march with a full kit, then climbing the highest peak in South Wales within 20 hours. They must then run 4 miles in 30 minutes and swim 2 miles in 90 minutes. Officer candidates spend an extra week planning special operations under stress. Mountain and jungle survival training follows. Foreign weapons training, combat survival drills, and week-long escape and evasion training are on the menu. In the patrol test, carrying only basic survival gear, they must reach a set point by sunrise. Final selection ends with 36 hours of resistance to interrogation. Most missions stay classified. Known operations include Operation Tombola in 1945, where over 300 German soldiers were killed in Italy. The 1980 Iranian embassy siege in London, Operation Barras in the Sierra Leone jungle, raids during the 1982 Falklands War, Scud missile launcher hunting in the Gulf War, and Operation Trent in Afghanistan against Taliban and Al-Qaeda forces. The Navy SEALs are the US Navy's top special operations force for unconventional warfare, counter-terrorism and covert missions. They operate at sea, in the air and on land to infiltrate targets, disrupt enemies and secure high-value objectives. They are widely seen as one of the most feared units in the world. Training lasts over a year before first deployment. Candidates must first pass a 500-yard swim in 12:30, 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes each, 10 pull-ups and a 1.5-mile run in 10:30. They then enter basic underwater demolition training, including 8 weeks of running, swimming, calisthenics and small boat drills. A key event is drown-proofing, where trainees swim with hands and feet bound. Underwater blackouts and heat strokes are common, some even drown. Hell Week is 5 days and nights with 4 hours of sleep, non-stop training and timed drills. Then comes 8 weeks of combat diving, submarine deployment and airborne ocean insertion. The final phase focuses on land warfare, reconnaissance, parachuting and advanced weapons. Only about 20% complete the whole training. Major missions include the killing of Osama bin Laden in 2011 and the 2009 rescue of Captain Richard Phillips from Somali pirates in the Indian Ocean. Sayeret Matkal is an elite unit of the Israel Defense Forces, modeled after the SAS, specialized in reconnaissance, counterterrorism, covert ops, and hostage rescue behind enemy lines. Matkal is the only unit that regularly lives as the enemy, speaking their language, wearing their clothes, and operating inside enemy capitals without being detected. Only those in top condition are even considered for a grueling, sleepless selection camp. Those who pass begin 2 years of training, including camouflage, urban combat, explosives defusal, tactical shooting, desert and mountain survival, navigation, reconnaissance, tactical diving, emergency medical care, and tracking. In the final days, they complete a 120 to 150 kilometers march. Then they undergo a 2-week captivity course. After a surprise kidnapping, they are held in prison-like conditions, interrogated, threatened, physically abused, and forced into degrading tasks. The unit conducts highly classified missions. Major operations include Operation Thunderbolt in 1976, the Sabina Flight 571 rescue in 72, a 73 raid on PLO targets, and the 1988 assassination of Abu Jihad. The National Gendarmerie Intervention Group is an elite French tactical unit focused on counterterrorism, hostage rescue, national threat surveillance, and securing critical sites. Many missions remain secret and members stay anonymous. Selection begins with a 1-week pre-screening, followed by 14 months of training. Only 7% completed. Training includes underwater combat, naval boarding, shooting with a wide range of weapons, infiltration, bomb disposal, and survival survival in harsh environments. They are known for their long-range sniping, breaching, reconnaissance, and free-fall parachuting skills. With over 1,800 missions and more than 600 hostages rescued, it's one of the most experienced units globally, famous for their accuracy and negotiation skills. Major operations include the 1994 storming of hijacked Air France Flight 8969 and the 2015 elimination of the Kouachi brothers after the Charlie Hebdo attack. Alpha Group, or FSB Spetsnaz, is a unit under Russia's Federal Security Service formed by the KGB. It focuses on high-risk raids, but much about it remains classified. It's considered one of the deadliest counter-terror units in the world, revered for raw toughness, but infamous for no-mercy tactics. It has operated in conflicts such as the Chechen Wars and gained global attention for major hostage crises. Entry is extremely difficult, even for experienced special forces, with a brutal selection process followed by 3 years of training in infantry tactics, parachuting, diving, sniping, close quarters combat, and foreign languages. Major operations include Storm 333 in '79 during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, the '85 Beirut diplomat rescue, the 2002 Moscow theater hostage crisis, and the 2004 Beslan school siege. However, for the last two, they were criticized for major civilian casualties. Its sister unit is Vympel, or Viga Group, originally created for foreign sabotage and espionage, infiltrating NATO sites and assassinations. Today it specializes in counterterrorism and protecting Russia's nuclear assets. Operators complete similar training to Alpha, with added focus on stealth infiltration and weapons mastery. Entry requires at least 2 years in a regular Spetsnaz group such as GRU. Many of its missions remain classified and often overlap with Alpha and other Russian special forces. Grenzschutztruppe 9 is the elite counterterrorism unit of the German Federal Police. It was established in 1972, weeks after the failed rescue attempt at the Munich Olympics hostage crisis. The unit has about 400 highly trained officers, whose identities are classified. It operates in Germany and abroad. Only federal or state police officers under 34 who completed 3 years of police training may apply. Candidates undergo a 5-day test including bench press at 75% body weight for 10 reps, obstacle and agility courses, vertigo resistance, a 100-meter sprint, standing long jumps, pull-ups, and a Cooper test. Around 10% pass. Those selected complete 10 months of training in marksmanship, close quarters combat, navigation, climbing, rappelling, and medical skills, followed by a hardship week under extreme stress. GSG 9 has conducted over 1,500 operations. Its most impactful was Operation Feuerzauber in '77 in Mogadishu, where operators stormed the hijacked Lufthansa flight Landshut. All 86 passengers were rescued and GSG 9 suffered no casualties. Joint Task Force 2 is a highly secretive unit of the Canadian Armed Forces, renowned for their Arctic warfare expertise. Secrecy and trust are at their center. Its small size allows rapid, discreet deployment. Only Canadian Armed Forces members can apply. Requirements include solid soldiering skills, mental resilience, and airborne experience. A 12 kilometers march with a 35 kg load is only a fraction of the grueling physical test. Few pass. Training includes Arctic warfare in sub-zero wilderness with minimal gear, close quarter combat, hostage rescue under stress, high altitude parachuting, and helicopter rope descents are the focus. A final 72-hour stress test with little sleep, limited food, and non-stop navigation, endurance, and shooting drills follows. Classified missions include a 3,540-meter sniper shot against an ISIL fighter in Iraq in 2017. It also played a key role in Afghanistan with Task Force K-Bar from 2001 to 2002, reportedly eliminating over 100 high-value targets, rescuing hostages in Iraq in 2005, and carrying out deployments in Bosnia, Haiti, Rwanda, and Ukraine. The Special Air Service Regiment is an elite unit of the Australian Army, renowned for their endurance in harsh desert and jungle environments. Members need to operate in small teams for long periods, often in isolation. Selection is demanding, After a physical fitness test, candidates complete a 21-day course with minimal sleep and food. Only 10 to 20% pass, moving on to a 16-month training covering the full warfare spectrum in advanced facilities. Each patrol member is specialized as either a medic, signaler, explosives expert, or linguist. In the Vietnam War, SASR conducted over 1,400 patrols, earning the nickname Phantoms of the Jungle for stealth and combat effectiveness. It played major roles in Afghanistan from 2001 to 14 in intense combat and kill or capture missions, but drew controversy over allegations of unlawful killings. They also played crucial roles in the 2003 Iraq invasion. Para is a group of special forces battalions within the Parachute Regiment of the Indian Army, known for high-risk, covert, precision operations. They are known for their versatility in jungle, mountain, and desert survival. Before applying, candidates must complete a 3-week parachute course. The 90-day selection is extremely tough, going up to 7 days with minimal or no sleep. Carrying a constant 10 kg sandbag and mastering navigation are a must. Most fail in the first phase. A 36-hour stress test follows, along with a trial by water, aka simulated drowning. With a 17 kg load, they must then run 100 kilometers across rocky terrain. The final counterterrorism operations phase is the hardest and fully classified. Major operations include the 2016 surgical strikes in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the 2015 Myanmar counterinsurgency mission preventing a coup in the Maldives in 1988, the 1971 Chachro raid, and the 1999 Kargil war operation where they captured key high-altitude positions. The Shinobi were covert agents in medieval Japan, skilled in infiltration, sabotage, and assassination. Unlike samurai bound by honor, Shinobi were the original no-rules guys. Originating from the Iga and Koga clans, they worked as mercenaries for local lords during the civil wars. Trained in ninjutsu, they specialized in stealth combat, disguise, and deception operating at night. They infiltrated castles, poisoned wells, burned arsenals, breached gates with gunpowder, and eliminated targets with metal throwing stars. In 1570, ninja Zenzubo ambushed Oda Nobunaga with an arquebus from about 20 meters, grazing him and killing his guard. Their power declined after Oda Nobunaga invaded Iga in 1581 and destroyed Shinobi communities. The Order of Assassins, or Hashashin, was a Shia Islamic group active in the 11th to 13th centuries, feared by crusaders, caliphs, and sultans. Based in mountain fortresses like Alamut in Persia, they built a network of Ismaili strongholds across the Middle East. They used hand-picked self-sacrificers for infiltration and targeted killings, striking in public with daggers, poison, or arrows. Over nearly 200 years, they killed hundreds of high-value figures, including 3 caliphs and crusader leaders such as Conrad of Montferrat, who was stabbed by assassins disguised as monks. Even Saladin reportedly sought peace after finding a dagger stuck in his pillow. The order was crushed during the Mongol invasion of Persia in 1256. The MACV-SOG was a highly classified US special unit, active before and during the Vietnam War. It conducted covert unconventional warfare, including prisoner snatches, pilot rescues, prisoners of war recovery, and psychological warfare. Some call them the deadliest recon unit ever, with a casualty rate over 100% and kill ratios up to 158:1. It carried out secret cross-border missions into Laos, Cambodia, and North Vietnam. Their existence remained classified for over a decade after the war. Their missions were highly successful and extremely dangerous, requiring constant improvisation to survive. They took part in major Vietnam campaigns, including Operation Steel Tiger and Tiger Hound, the Tet Offensive, the Cambodian Campaign, and the Easter Offensive. The Rhodesian Light Infantry was a regiment of the Army of the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland in Central Africa. An all-white unit, it was considered one of the best trained forces ever, known for heli-borne assault tactics that were decades ahead. During the Rhodesian Bush War, it became a main counterinsurgency force against the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army. Many soldiers were battle-hardened veterans of British conflicts such as Malaya. The unit achieved reported kill ratios exceeding 50-1, despite lacking strong air or artillery support and facing Soviet-backed opponents. It also conducted cross-border operations, including a 1976 raid into Mozambique to destroy rebel camps and raids into Zambia. The regiment's tactical brilliance couldn't overcome international sanctions, guerrilla attrition, and shifting global politics. After Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, the regiment was disbanded. Rogers Rangers were an elite ranger unit in British colonial service, formed during the French and Indian War in North America, playing a key role in Britain's victory. Major Robert Rogers recruited hunters and trappers instead of traditional soldiers, choosing men skilled in tracking and survival. They wore dark green to blend into the terrain. The unit used guerrilla warfare, ambushes, long-range reconnaissance, and winter raids on French outposts. Their tactics were shaped by Native American warfare methods, unconventional for the time. Stealth, adaptability, and teamwork defined their style. Their methods influenced the American Ranger Corps, later the modern US Army Rangers, and contributed to the foundation of US Special Operations Forces. The 1st Special Service Force was a joint American-Canadian commando unit in World War II that fought in Italy and southern France. Its mission was highly secret. Recruits were often told they were joining a parachute unit, and train windows were painted black so they wouldn't know their destination. Training was intense, covering parachuting, weapons, demolitions, skiing, rock climbing, and cold weather adaptation. They carried cards with their insignia and the phrase "Das dicke Ende kommt noch," the worst is yet to come, which were left on dead German soldiers as psychological warfare. In 251 days of combat, they killed thousands of enemy troops and captured many more. Germans called them the Black Devils for their blackened faces and night ops. Modern American and Canadian Special Operation Forces trace their heritage to this unit. Aswārān were an elite heavy cavalry force of the Sasanian Persian Empire, often called the tanks of the ancient world. They were noble-born, heavily armored, and formed the backbone of the Persian army, breaking enemy lines as shock troops. Their lifelong training focused on weightlifting, horsemanship, and martial arts still practiced today. Their cataphracts formed the vanguard and directly engaged Roman heavy infantry. They wielded the devastating Kontos lance, impaling 2 men at once, and carried long swords, maces, and axes for close quarters combat. Their armor was so advanced that most sword and lance strikes caused little damage. Heavy mace blows were their only weakness. After the fall of the Sasanian dynasty to the First Arab Empire, their weapons, tactics, and military culture were adopted by Arab, Turkic, and later Germanic armies. Napoleon's Old Guard was the elite corps of the Grande Armée, serving as the final reserve, personal bodyguards, and shock troops of the French Empire. It was made up exclusively of veteran soldiers and was considered the most feared formation of its time. Selection required at least 10 years of service and participation in a minimum of 3 campaigns. Many had fought in 12. Members were chosen for proven bravery, awards, experience, and above-average height. They trained in advanced bayonet and close combat. Strict discipline removed any hesitation or cowardice. Their reputation was built in major battles of the Napoleonic Wars, including Austerlitz, Dresden, and their final stand at Waterloo in 1815, where they refused to surrender. The Medjay were elite warriors from ancient Nubia, in present-day Sudan, known for fearlessness and archery skills. Originally recruited as mercenaries by Egyptian pharaohs, they became trusted protectors and bodyguards, acting as the pharaoh's special forces. They supported major missions such as Hatshepsut's expedition to Punt, today's Eritrea. They also helped Ahmose I expel the Hyksos from Avaris, strengthening Egypt's rise as a military power. In peacetime, they transitioned into law enforcement, becoming Egypt's first professional police force. By the 18th dynasty, they served as an elite paramilitary unit, protecting capitals, royal tombs, and borders, even using trained baboons on leashes to capture criminals. The Cossacks were elite warrior communities that emerged in the 15th century in the borderlands of the Dnieper, Don, and Ural regions. They included Ukrainians, Russians, and others, and at times served opposing states, known for elite horsemanship, reconnaissance, ambushes, raids, and behind-the-lines disruption. Ukrainian Cossacks were early adopters of muskets and cannons. They served as light cavalry and frontier guards for the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and later the Russian Empire. They often used their own horses, weapons, and commanders, favoring hit-and-run tactics. In the Napoleonic Wars, they played a key role in Russia's scorched earth strategy and gained fame for their operations. Napoleon himself claimed he could conquer the world with 10,000 Cossacks. Many served as guards for the Tsar and were used by the Russian Empire for riot control, prison duty, and escort missions. After the Bolshevik takeover, they were targeted as enemies. Many fought for the Tsarist side in the Civil War, leading to the genocidal policy of de-Cossacization. In World War II, many fought alongside Germany. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Cossack identity resurged. Today, Cossack groups act as paramilitary forces in Russia and Ukraine. The Knights Hospitaller were founded around 1099 in Jerusalem as a Catholic order caring for pilgrims. They evolved into a powerful military force defending the Holy Land. They took part in over 25 crusade battles and gained a reputation as some of the bravest and most deadly warriors, even outclassing the Knights Templar. They combined combat skill with medical care. Many were trained as combat medics and built forward hospitals near battle lines. Training stressed discipline, duty, sword skills, and siege defense. They pioneered coordinated tactics between infantry and knights. They charged and retreated only on command. Recruits came mainly from France, England, Bohemia, and Hungary. Their motto was, "For the faith and in the service of humanity." Their battle cry was, "Deus vult." They fought alongside Richard the Lionheart against Saladin and helped save Baldwin IV's army at Montgezard. After losing Jerusalem and Acre, they established strongholds in Rhodes and later Malta. They held Rhodes for over 200 years and resisted the Ottoman Empire during the Great Siege of Malta, defending with about 700 knights and 8,000 men against a force of 40,000. They continued as a naval power into the 18th century. Ukraine's Special Operations Forces were created in 2016 following failures in the Donbass War. Selection is highly competitive, with about 10% passing. They conduct reconnaissance, sabotage, raids, and psychological operations. During the Russo-Ukrainian War, they played key roles in the 2022 liberation of Snake Island, the defense of Kiev and northern regions, and intelligence support for the Kharkiv offensive. They have also carried out sabotage in Donbass and deep raids into Russia during the Kursk incursions. They are known for using advanced drone units to strike armored vehicles and high-ranking targets, conducting amphibious raids in the Black Sea, and reportedly carrying out missions against Russian assets in Syria and Sudan. The Special Service Group, aka the Black Storks or Maroon Berets, is the most elite unit of the Pakistan Army. It's recognized for mountain warfare expertise and very intense training, including a 36-mile march in 12 hours. Applicants must have at least 5 years of military service before applying. The 25-week commando course is highly competitive, with only a small percentage passing. Training includes advanced combat skills and mastery of judo and karate. Graduates receive their badges only when passing out. The SSG has played key roles in the Indo-Pak Wars and regional counter-terror operations. Major missions include the 1986 Pan Am Flight 73 hijacking rescue in Karachi and Operation Silence in 2007 when commandos stormed the Red Mosque in Islamabad to neutralize radicals. Comandos Jungla is an elite unit of the Colombian National Police, trained with support from the US and the UK. They specialize in high-risk jungle operations against drug cartels, trafficking networks, and armed groups such as FARC and ELN. The unit focuses on anti-narcotics raids on fortified labs deep in remote jungles, seizing drug caches, capturing or killing high-value targets, and destroying production facilities. Initial training lasts 4 months and is extremely demanding. It includes jungle warfare, land combat, and rapid-fire combat skills. Trainees must also survive alone in the jungle for 1 week. After basic training, members specialize as medics, snipers, or demolitionists. Operations rely on rapid helicopter assaults and highly coordinated 15-minute raids to avoid counterattacks. Delta Force is a US Army Special Ops unit and one of the world's most elite Tier 1 counterterrorism and special mission forces, specializing in surgical raids, hostage rescue and high-value target capture anywhere in the world. Modeled after British SAS, it maintains extreme secrecy. Officially, it doesn't even exist. Selection is brutal, focused on endurance, navigation, survival and psychological resilience. Very few pass. Known missions include the capture of Saddam Hussein, the hunt for Osama bin Laden, operations against warlords in Somalia, the Hawija ISIS prison raid freeing about 70 hostages, the killing of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in Syria, and the 2026 capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.